Deloitte, PwC, EY, and KPMG command immediate respect on a resume, but they demand 60 to 70 hours of your week under relentless client pressure. Because of that pressure, roughly 70% of their employees leave before finishing their third year. Looking at a churn rate that high, the logical conclusion is that the system is broken. In almost any other industry, losing 7 out of 10 new hires means your HR department is failing. But the Big Four operate on a different logic. This massive turnover is a meticulously designed feature of their business model. They fully expect you to leave. By relying on a system that purposefully exhausts its people and rapidly exports them back out into the broader corporate workforce, these firms operate as the most efficient career accelerators in the world, provided you know how to navigate them. To understand why they willingly let their best people walk away, we have to look at the financial mechanics underneath the prestige. This is the Big Four flywheel. They recruit top talent, train them intensely, and deliberately export them. When these alumni take mid-level roles, they become future clients, hiring the exact firm they already trust. For you, the employee, this dynamic turns a grueling job into a highly paid, practical MBA. The firm invests heavily in your training because every competent person who leaves acts as a walking billboard for their services. Treating a Big Four firm as a permanent home is a mistake. It is an asset-building machine. To win, you have to approach it with a calculated exit strategy from day one. So what exactly are you buying with those 70-hour work weeks? The trade-off between the pitch and the reputation comes down to a few very specific skills. First, you learn to organize chaotic information using MECE principles, making sure your ideas are mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Then, you learn how to deliver those structured ideas directly to C-suite executives under extreme scrutiny, without hesitating. You also gain rapid cross-industry literacy. You might spend 2 months analyzing a retail supply chain, and the next 2 months breaking down healthcare regulations. You learn how to dissect a new sector's cost structure in a matter of weeks. The cost of acquiring these skills is the year-one shock. You are constantly thrown into rooms with incomplete data, minimal guidance, and a looming presentation deadline. You have to learn how to function comfortably while feeling completely unprepared. Through that constant repetition, you develop execution reliability. There is no "I'll finish it tomorrow" in consulting. You build the stamina to hit non-negotiable client deadlines every single time. But the personal cost is severe. Your schedule compresses your private life. You spend weeks traveling, straining relationships, and if you calculate your actual hourly pay during those first 2 years, it is remarkably low compared to normal corporate jobs. Enduring those inputs produces a specific result. You emerge with a cross-industry leadership profile that usually takes a decade to build, compressed into 3 years. Knowing what skills you get is only half the equation. Knowing exactly when you acquire them dictates when you should leave. This graph maps the Big Four learning curve. Notice the massive exponential spike in knowledge acquisition during year 1 and year 2. Year 2 is your acceleration maximum. You finally understand the internal systems. You can operate autonomously, and you absorb complex information faster than at any other point in your career. But right at year 3, the curve plateaus. You are still working hard, but the marginal learning you get from taking on one more client or one more project drops off a cliff. Compare that to a standard corporate role. The growth there is steady and linear, but it takes years to reach the elevation a consultant hits in 24 months. This is why staying past year 3 without a specific promotion in mind is dangerous. You are risking severe burnout for almost zero additional skill growth. If the learning stops at year 3, why do people stay? It comes down to the financial multipliers tied to the firm's hierarchy. These firms operate on a strict up or out pyramid. You are evaluated aggressively. If you do not hit your promotion targets on their precise schedule, you are counseled out of the company. Survive that pressure cooker and exit around year 3 as a manager, and you can reliably secure a 30 to 50% salary jump when you transition into a mid-level corporate role. Or you can take a high-risk gamble. If you grind through the plateau for another 2 to 3 years and reach senior manager, you unlock an exit multiplier of 60 to 80%, stepping directly into VP or director roles. Every additional year you spend inside the firm is a trade. You are spending your mental bandwidth and physical health to purchase a higher exit multiplier. Fast forward 10 or 20 years down the line, the long-term career landscape reveals an entirely different return on your initial investment. The most enduring asset of the Big Four experience is the informal global alumni network you are permanently plugged into. This pie chart illustrates where that network ends up. 1 in 3 CFOs in the Fortune 500 spent time at a Big Four firm. Having that brand on your resume creates an immediate credibility loop. When a hiring manager sees you survived the same grueling projects, tight deadlines, and specific jargon they did, trust is established instantly. A Big Four tenure embeds you into an exclusive corporate mafia that guarantees future access long after you've left the office. Which brings us back to your immediate decision. How do you weigh an entry-level Big Four offer against a standard corporate job? This matrix clarifies the choice. The optimal window to maximize your ROI requires you to operate in the high-acceleration, low-balance quadrant with a strict 2 to 4 year exit strategy. If you need strict boundaries for your health or family right now, or if you want to dive deep into one specific technical niche immediately, decline the offer. The environment will chew you up. But if you are in your 20s, highly ambitious, and willing to trade your evenings and weekends for a few years, it is the perfect move. You are buying cross-industry literacy and a baseline 35% salary jump. Just watch your timing. Leave in under 2 years, and hiring managers will assume you couldn't handle the pressure. Stay longer than 5 years without a clear path to partner, and the market will assume your career has stagnated. Treat the Big Four exactly as they treat you. It is a temporary, grueling tuition phase. Pay the price, collect the assets, and use them to buy a permanent advantage in the corporate market.